It's Monday, and we like to warm you up on Mondays with all sorts of lovely foliage and perhaps the one and only Frankie flowers. Bring them on out here, hiding behind the forest.
Here I come.
What's great about this is that it's all tropical.
Yeah.
And it just makes you feel kind of warm, and it's beautiful and lush, and a lot of people like to incorporate tropicals into their homes because of that. But we have to think about, I guess, what the conditions need to be like.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little
plants.
bit about outside your home, because now we invest in these spas. We invest in all this patio furniture that costs so much, and we want that Miami feel. But the plants are what pull it off. That's the plants. It's the outdoor decorating with plants that I want to talk about today.
Okay.
So first, what I want to show you is that I was in Miami in January at Costa Farms, just outside of Miami in Homestead, Florida. And here's a look at the hibiscus that you're seeing across the country today. This is what they look like when they're growing in the fields of Miami. They're beautiful and tender. Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
There's acres upon acres upon acres of hibiscus. Beautiful. And the hibiscus, when you look at bloom size, unbelievable. So you can add a little punch of color. There's a picture as well where one of the blooms and some of the varieties of hibiscus are as large as my head.
It's really, really big, right? Because you can't necessarily tell from those photos.
I got a secondary. Look at the size of that photo right there.
Okay.
That's me going, wow, isn't it amazing? So hibiscus first. Whoa.
He loves a flower, this guy.
I do love a flower. When I see a nice, when my wife met me, I was driving a Volvo station wagon with a bumper sticker of a hibiscus on the back. And she was like, who the heck is this guy? Single guy driving a station wagon with flowers on the back. Whatever.
You love your flowers, but that's why we love you. And you know what? So many of us look for a big flower. I know personally, I love a big flower. I love a plant that will produce a big flower, because you don't need as many flowers to make a big impact if they are huge.
You got that right. Yeah. And the key is with those larger flowers, after they're finished, to remove them. So always constantly deadheading, because if not, you're just going to have them rot right on the plant. So there are, in color, let's just talk about color. You are dressed today in beautiful punchy orange. Doesn't orange just say to you, wow, it's hot, it's summer? So you look at the pot that we have right in the front there, that little collection there. Beautiful orange pot on the bottom, a collection of tropical plants that you would normally find indoors that would work fantastic outdoors. You got a nice trailing plant in the front, which is a lime pothos, as well as we have anthurium, which is the red flowering, and we have a bromelade. All those guys packed together in a little container combination with the caladium there adds a beautiful little tropical interest. So you think about that corner leading into perhaps the pool area. Bam, you hit them in the face with that, and they're saying, wow, I've already arrived to Miami and Edmonton.
Yeah, there you go.
Right?
Now, what do the conditions, how warm does it need to be for you to have that outside?
Frost-free conditions, so Jack Frost has to be out of the forecast.
All right.
You have to use a potting soil, and this collection right here doesn't like a full sun. This collection here is a part sun, so know the location before you start to combine tropical plants together. And that one there is one for part sun or lower light conditions, so a shaded corner, adding that little bit of color makes that dull space an interesting place.
That is gorgeous. I love that.
The Bougainvillea right behind you as well.
So
you
this
look
is
at the
a beautiful
color.
plant.
Yeah, this is a full sun. You got hot sun, and let's say that you don't have a lot of space in terms of square footage. This grows up. It's a vine. And with that, you can grow it up a trellis, fantastic, an obelisk, or even up a wall. Full sun location. Look at the color. That to me says Hawaii hello.
Yes, it does.
It really does. And Bougainvillea, though, as a word of warning, they do have thorns on them.
Okay.
So, not the best one to be in an area where maybe people are celebrating and they might be dancing. They'll go against the wall, against the Bougainvillea. They'll come back scratched. So
I like your parties if people are dancing against the wall.
Oh, margaritas all over the place. Caliente, let me tell you. So now we have another collection over there, which is another collection that will do well in more sunny locations. You have a bird of paradise in the center. We have some crotons on the bottom as well. And with that, even the variegated foliage, nice. Look at that. Not a flower in sight in that container combination.
True.
But color.
And still
foliage.
beautiful.
That's what's beautiful about tropicals, is the foliage. You look at a beautiful palm, that all of a sudden puts you right there. It puts you right into the south. These have to come in during the winter months.
Right.
So you got to make sure you do that. Now,
how much water do these plants need?
That's always a good question, and it's so variable. There's no real answer to it. Depends on container size. Larger the container, you're not going to have to water as often. The more sun they get, the more often you're going to have to water. So the key is to really gauge it when you first plant it, and then you'll over time. If you have a week of overcast skies and showers, you don't need to water. If you have a week where it's windy and sunny and hot and dry, if you're dry, your plants are dry. That's what I say.
Got it.
If you're wet, your plants are wet.
Because you got to think in the tropics, you're having storms and rain showers all the time, and that's what's keeping them looking gorgeous, right?
Yeah, and the reason why plants plants love it so much in Canada is we do have high humidity levels. You can tell by your hair. Your hair just goes poof.
That's right.
Well, when your hair goes...
not today.
Yeah, your hair looks fantastic.
Okay, good.
Right. But when your hair goes poof, you know it's a high humidity day,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. Tropical plants, as well as this is a mandevilla, love that high humidity. And look at this flower that's here. That one there is called sun
like
parasol.
A little trumpet.
Isn't a little trumpet.
Cute.
That will attract hummingbirds. Fantastic for you. And with the variegated, nice little color that's there, beautiful. And you look at this flower here. This one here is passion flower. And you can take a look at the center of that one. But look at that bloom. That there.
Cool?
I'm going to tell you, it screams sexiness to me.
It really does.
It really does. It's a beautiful flower,
That's a
vine
hot
type,
plant.
a hot plant.
Very nice.
So you add these elements into your garden space and just beautiful color.
Now, let's say you have a plant like that blooms like that and it's so gorgeous. Is that going to last for one day?
No,
because
no,
that's
no.
my problem with a lot of plants, flowering plants. The flowers, they don't stick around very long.
Kind of like men.
Kind of.
Yeah. They're there, they want to add color, and then they're out.
They're gone. Yeah, they're
just
gone.
like men. So,
How do you make them stay?
It depends on the plants. Of course, Bougainvillea, like we talked about, that's going to last a long time.
Yeah.
This one here is the passion flower. That bloom there lasts about 3 to 4 days.
See, that's short.
But you know what? Get rid of that flower after it's spent. You prune it off. More buds come on. You get more blooms out of it.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Remember,
you need to get rid of the man to make more come.
yeah. As soon as your man is spent, as soon as your man is finished,
yes.
kick him out, and then you'll get better men in behind, better
More
buds.
coming, yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. So deadheading, that's the word of deadheading. Deadhead your man.
Yeah.
No.
It's a good lesson for life. Send your emails to Frank Ferragine, please. I'm not taking those emails.
I will.